Hi guys, it's Tobias here from HomemadeGiftsMadeEasy.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make friendship bracelets in all sorts of patterns. And the neat thing about the method I'm going to show you is that it's really easy. Basically what it does is to let even a complete beginner make really intricately braided patterns like these. And the trick to it is that we're going to use something called the braiding wheel. So I'm going to start off showing you how to make your braiding wheel. There are braiding wheel templates on HomemadeGiftsMadeEasy.com. So what you want to do is download one of these templates and print it. And then you want to cut out the wheel for the particular pattern that we want to make. And then you want to glue that wheel onto a piece of cardboard. And then once it's glued on, you want to cut all around the edges. And you end up with something like this. And then you need to poke a hole in the center here. Just use a pen or a pencil or something to poke a hole in the middle. And then using a pair of scissors, see how there are these lines along the edge all around. You want to cut along each of those lines. It just goes in about 1/4 of an inch or something. So you end up with all these little slots around the edge of the wheel. And that's how you make your braiding wheel. Next, you're going to have to get some embroidery floss to make your bracelet. And you need to figure out how many pieces of floss you need. And you do that by looking at the pattern on the edge of the wheel. So for instance, this particular pattern, which is chevrons, you can see the little arrows. For this one, if I count them up, I need, let's count around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need 11 yellow pieces of floss, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 blue pieces of embroidery floss. So 11 yellow and 5 blue for this particular pattern, and I need to get those pieces of embroidery floss and cut them to be 50 centimeters long. For those of you used to imperial units, that's 20 inches long. 50 centimeters or 20 inches each piece. And then you want to line up all your pieces of embroidery floss together. So here I've got my bundle of 5 blue and 11 yellow pieces of floss. And the first step is really easy. All I'm going to do is tie a simple overhand knot in the end. And I'm going to leave about 1 inch of spare loose ends at the end. This is about 1 inch, or just over 1 inch. And then I tighten it up a bit. And then I tie another double knot directly on top of that first knot. Like so. Okay, so now I've got this double knot on the end. And then what I need to do is just take that end with a double knot and poke it through the hole in the center of the braiding wheel. And now I've got all these long ends poking out here. And now I need to set up the braiding wheel, and to do that I just put each thread into one of the slots matching the color around the edge. So I put the yellow thread into a slot that has a yellow mark next to it. And now I need a blue thread, and that goes into the blue mark. Once you have all the threads set up, it's time to start weaving the bracelet. So you want to hold the embroidery wheel so that the start arrow here is pointing upwards. And then you take the thread that is hooked into the start position, unhook it, and move it to the opposite position down the bottom. And down the bottom you'll see there are 2 threads already, and I'm going to hook this in just to the right of those 2 threads. Now I have 3 threads in a row at the bottom. I take the leftmost thread unclip it and move it up to the top, just to the left of the single thread that's there. And then what you do is rotate the wheel to the left so that these next two threads are now at the top. And then we just repeat the procedure. So you take the right thread from the top, move it down to the bottom and just to the right. Then you take the left thread at the bottom, unclip it and put it just to the left of the thread at the top. And then you rotate the wheel so that the next two threads along are at the top. And you always rotate the wheel to the left. It's important as you go along to sort of comb the pieces of thread at the bottom so they don't get all tangled up. And then you just continue going along like this. So the right thread at the top goes to the right of the ones at the bottom. The left thread at the bottom goes to the left of the thread at the top. And then rotate the wheel to the left. And you just keep going along like that. After you've been braiding for a few minutes, go ahead and turn over the braiding wheel and have a look at the underneath. And you'll see that your bracelet has actually been growing through the hole in the center of the cardboard, like this. So I'm making the chevrons pattern, and you can see the little chevrons on the bracelet already. It seems kind of like magic, but that's how the bracelet grows. Keep on braiding until the bracelet is long enough. It's a good idea to give the bracelet a little tug every now and then because it stretches a bit, so it might actually be longer than what you think. Once it's long enough to go around your wrist or around the wrist of the person that you'd like to give it to, then it's time to finish off the bracelet. So to do that, you just unclip all the threads from the braiding wheel. And then you pull the bracelet off the wheel, and then you'll have all these loose ends like this. And what you want to do to finish it off is tie, let me just straighten this out a bit. What you want to do is tie a simple overhand knot, and you want to make it so that the knot goes right on the boundary between the braided bits and the loose ends. So if you look here, it goes braid, 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 and then loose bits. So I want the knot right on top of the transition point. Like that. Good. Okay. And then what I want to do is tie another knot, just about a ½ inch or so, that's about 1 centimeter, along from the next knot. The same sort of knot again, just a simple overhand knot. Oops. Right, and I want this to be about 1 centimeter or ½ an inch from the first knot. Like that. Good. And then you can use some scissors to trim off the loose ends. Probably leave about a ½ inch or so of spare loose ends. And there you have it, that's the finished bracelet. Now to put on the bracelet, what you do is between these two knots, you sort of pull apart the threads a bit to make a hole in the middle, like that. And then you take the big knot from the other end and you just push it through that hole. A little bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. And there you go, that's the finished bracelet. Thanks for watching.